Simon & Schuster Audio presents Under the Fading Sky by Cynthia Kadohata. Read by Matthew Bridges. For Samuel Finlay. 1. So the difference between humans and demons is not as big as you might think. Sometimes you can't really tell which is which just by looking. In fact, sometimes I even walk into a random store and wonder exactly what kind of person, like, the sales clerk is. Good or evil. I know this sounds crazy, but let me explain. The first time I realized I wasn't sure who or what I was talking to, it was like I felt out of balance. Discombobulated was the word me and Li Fang decided on. It was when him, me, Banker, and Davis were buying drugs at some dude's house, which was in this normal neighborhood in Playa del Sol, about 40 minutes from downtown Los Angeles. You know, nice lawn with an olive tree out front like you see all over. Those trees with complicated twisting trunks. They're really cool, the way they always look so old, even when they're small. I'm kinda obsessed with old stuff and history, because I legit was born in the wrong era. Anyway, the neighborhood was so normal that it could have been a set in The Truman Show, which I never watched, but I know the story. The movie's about a guy who's living in a reality show, but doesn't know it. There's a big set that he lives in, and he thinks it's the real world. One day, Lee and I were high and talking about how even though Truman lived in a set, it was still his reality, right? Otherwise, you can make a case that just about everybody is living in a set. What I mean to say is, once you've met a demon, you realize just about nobody you know truly lives in reality. They have no idea of the really bad stuff that's out there. So, this house we were at looked hyper-normal, as in, the kind of house a richer Truman might live in. White with a few stone steps and a big plant on either side of the door. I paused. It was January, drizzling a little, and I looked up and let the cool mist hit my face. A bunch of crows did that thing they do, when they all cry out at once, some landing on electric cables, some swirling around. The other guys were now a few steps ahead of me, so I sped up. I decided to make sure we were at the right place. Banker, dude, you sure this is the right house? Dude, it's the address I have. You've never been here before? I asked. Nah. Lee and I looked at each other. Then Banker rang the bell, and a few seconds later, a little girl answered the door. Lee and I looked at each other again. The girl said, "Daddy's peeing," then giggled like she knew she wasn't supposed to tell us that. Then a man came out, a big guy with a big face and big hands. "Thanks, sweetie," he said to the little girl.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?